Hi family, welcome back. Today I'm going to share with you this idea or this aha moment that came to me, and it's about letting go of control, but it's not what you think it is. So before I get started, I want to thank you so much for being here today. I really enjoy our conversations and our thoughts, and I love sharing value together. I really also appreciate when you let me know that you like certain topics or certain videos by hitting thumbs up, and I really love when you share your comments below, because sharing thoughts is like the most awesome way to connect, in my opinion. And thank you so much for subscribing. If you've done that, you're gonna stick around for more because I got lots more to give to you. So I had this epiphany. We hear it all the time, like let go, and you know, don't force control, don't be so controlling, you know, let go of the control. And I never really understood what it meant until recently. Basically, I went and took a firearms class, and this is gonna seem really weird, but I did it for fun. And number one, because everybody here is allowed to carry, and number two, when the hurricane hit and a bunch of people were looting and shooting, as they call it, it kind of scared me a little bit. And I don't like living in fear. I like facing my fears. So it made me realize like how afraid of guns I was, and I don't want to be afraid of them. I want to be knowledgeable about them, because if people are out there carrying them and it's legal for people to own them, I just wanted to be conscious. So I took this class that talked about safety, and it talked about the mechanics of it and how it worked. It was like 5-hour class. And what I was taught was that when you line everything up, you have your good form, you're in this posture, you're looking at the front sight, and you're lining everything up. You just have to smoothly pull the trigger back and let the gun do its job. This was easy for me because I was like, okay, I mean, I just kind of was like, it's gonna do its thing. I'm just gonna do what I'm supposed to do. And it was interesting because if you do it right, you don't actually see the target until after you are done, and you know, remove your gaze from your front sight and you see where you either hit or miss. And so you kind of just have to trust that lining everything up is what it needs to do. This thing is powerful, so it kicks, and you have to trust that holding it, you know, and continuing to maintain that straight line of sight, despite it's kicking in front of your eyesight, you're losing sight of that front sight momentarily. You just kind of have to trust that it all lines up for you. And what I found was really interesting was that it did. It was really crazy. Like, almost kind of like I could be a pro shooter. Not really, but you know, it was just like, I never expected that, that letting go of like the result of wanting to. And because I didn't really care, I was just there for one purpose. My purpose was just to address my fear, get a little more information, like, so that I wasn't, you know, you're afraid of the unknown, so it wasn't this big unknown thing to me. And I, you know, wasn't really invested in what's going on. And of course I tried the best that I can, because that's just what I like to do. I don't just, you know, do things lazily. But I didn't really care about the result. It's not like when I'm doing handstands with yoga. I really want to do those handstands. Like, I really want to get them, and I'm doing them over and over and over again. Here, I was just like, okay, I'm listening to the instructor. We're doing this. Let's do it. And it was so crazy how everything just came together. And it was almost meditative. After a while, it sounds really weird and like ironic, but it was like, it's just because it's so crazy, and you can feel the percussion of it, and there's all these people that have firearms in their arms, and it was just like kind of scary, you know, if you're not used to it. But then after a while, you're just so present with what it is that you're doing that that it puts you in this really interesting and really nice meditative state. And I'm not saying that you have to go shoot a gun to do that. It was just the variables of the scenario and where my psychology was at with it that led me to that. And I didn't realize, I mean, I didn't realize that that was going to happen in the first place, but what it made me realize was, oh my gosh, like the idea of letting go of control is literally about being the facilitator for the perfect environment. And so what it means is it's not just like the perfect environment to shoot something. I mean, there's a whole bunch of politics and a whole bunch of different viewpoints on that, and I get all of it. I get both sides. I totally get both sides. But really, I started applying this into my handstands and into other things that I started doing, like playing this game Hive. That if you don't know what it is, I'll stick in the link. It's a really fun game. It's one of our favorite games to play, Brett and I. Sorry, light change. Whoa, incredible light change. Fortunately, I have an auto lighting, but that dimming is because these clouds just blow and the sun just disappears. But it's a strategic game. It's kind of like chess, and it's hard. It's hard, but it's really fun. And so I started applying this idea in which I just take the variables that I feel like are important, line them up, and just don't be so attached to the result. Don't be so attached to having to control and having to overthink and having to analyze, and what about this and what about that, and how about this fear and what about that? Why am I not doing this right? Why am I falling my handstands? Why am I weak today? Why does it suck compared to yesterday? How do I get this better in the future? All these questions and thoughts that were running around in my head, I just started just saying, just zip it, you know, and try to think about what you're supposed to be doing. Both palms are flat, weight is distributed, press through the arms, lift from the core, gaze right below your wrist, all these things, and just line it up and breathe and do it smoothly. It's the same principle that I learned in that firearms training course. And things just started falling like in place, like they just happened. And it's like, whoa, like I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that that I could be as efficient or learn as quick or produce that result. And it just started happening anywhere I applied this principle. And the funny thing is, it's like when you're trying to do something so cool, you know, like a cool handstand or whatever, or you're trying to like balance across the slack line, and you feel like such an idiot because you can't do it, and now you're falling on your face and everybody's watching, and it feels so personal because you are trying to do it. And what happened was, like, this would happen and people would be like, oh my God, good job, you're amazing, you're a natural, like you know how to do this. And it felt so impersonal, like, no, I don't know how to do it. I just lined everything up and it sort of happened that way. It just happened, I don't know, you know? And it brought me so much happiness and excitement to like discover this, because it's exactly what happened in my second birth too. A lot of you guys and a lot of people I know tell me, you're so inspiring, like I can't believe like how strong of a woman you are. You birthed that baby and it was painless and it was quick and it was beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, like I feel the same way. And sometimes I have to catch myself because I'm like, I know, and I'm like, wait, it totally sounds like I'm gloating. But the reason that I feel like that is because I'm equally as amazed, and it's not because I feel inspiring and strong and whatever. Like when I was in that moment, I was just facilitating that environment, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. I wasn't trying to force anything to happen. I was literally surrendering my will to whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, your internal instinct, that power within. Like I was fully surrendered, and it's this full surrender, but taking action to facilitate that environment, that it's like the breeding ground of that, whatever you want to call it, that perfection. But then you can't expect that perfection. You have to literally be like, I don't know what's gonna happen, I just trust whatever happens is good, and I'm just gonna line it all up and let it flow. And it's just like the craziest thing. And I don't know, obviously I'm just wow, like blown away by this, and how many times now that I've seen it in my life, and I just had to share it with you because it was like magic. Like it feels like magic, and it really connects with some of my mentors that I have in my life. These mentors in particular are mentors with the greatest success that I know, and they have one thing in common. And the thing that I see that is in common with a lot of these very, not just a little bit, not just wow successful, but like very successful people that I've met in my life, is that they have had some form or another in which they've said that they were in the flow. That my uncle says that that a lot of people tell him he must have had incredible vision, that he must have had incredible discipline to follow through. And he says, I don't. I just wake up and I say, God, do your will with me, whatever that might be. And I just flow from that point, and it's easy, is what he said. And it's like one of those things where you kind of feel like, gosh, I suck. Because I don't think that way, you know what I mean? Like, I just think, what do I want? What do I want to do? How am I going to do this? Me, you know? And it's just such an interesting thing to hear. It makes sense. And I've heard this countless times from those types of successful individuals. And so it's a really cool thing to see. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So I hope you liked it. I hope you find value in it. If you have any thoughts, of course, talk about this. This is an exciting topic for me. Make sure you hit thumbs up too, so that I know you like these topics. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more of this and minimalism and more fun. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening. Be good, be great, be grateful. And I'm like really trying to think about what I'm saying there, because normally I just say be good, be great, be grateful. But like really, if you think about it, that is awesome. Like an awesome mantra to have. So be good, be great, the greatest you can be grateful most of all. And just know that I'm extremely grateful for you. Thank you so much for sharing these just densely packed, amazing ideas in which we can connect with. I value it so much. So thank you for that. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.